And this is not Richie Blackmore. This is Candice Knight.
And you're watching Masa Ito's Bang Up Rock.
Yeah.
昨日私もうちでテレビ見させていただきましたけども、2人がああやって日本のテレビ出て歌うってのはちょっと意外でしたけども、よく決心なさいましたね。
Yes, I wasn't singing. Yeah, we thought it's that type of what we're trying to do is appeal to an older audience as well, you know, an audience that might. I mean, the age I am, I'm 52, so there's a lot of people that are probably fans same age as me, and I know that I don't watch rock and roll shows too much. I wouldn't watch MTV or whatever, but I would watch a news program, and I think I would be interested in what this band was doing. So that's why we wanted to do a television show right now.
キャンディス緊張してるって言ってたけど、とても素晴らしかったじゃないですか。
When I start to sing, I tend to be okay. It just takes me away from everything. But it was difficult. I was talking to myself in the bathroom. When I went into the ladies' room, I was saying, okay, this is ridiculous now. There's only 20 people standing in front of you, and there's a camera, and you're going to be okay. So, and Richie helped out a lot also. He was making me laugh, and every time he makes me laugh, that makes me comfortable. So it's good
It's
to
her
have
first television, live television.
ところでブラックマザナイトのアルバムのことですけども、前回リッチのお宅でいろいろ話をした時に、まあこういうタイプの音楽をどんだけの人が期待しているのか僕には分からないとおっしゃったけども、実際に日本ではね素晴らしい売り上げを記録したんですけども、そのことについてはどう思ってますか？
Yes, it's a nice surprise. I was hoping it would do well, but in a way, the music we're playing is not that far removed from rock and roll. It still has roots, hard. Some of the melodies I've incorporated in certain rock tunes that I've done in the past with Rainbow. Similar chord progressions. So it's not that far removed from what I've done before. It's almost like the same thing with an acoustic guitar.
ヨーロッパツアーがなんかリッチの指のなんか負傷でキャンセルになったって話も聞いたんです。それは本当なんですか？
That's right, actually, yeah. This finger here, I broke this finger right at the tip 10 years ago, and I couldn't play for 6 weeks. But then it was okay. But now it plays me up again. So it's been like 6 weeks now, 2 months. I have to be very careful when I'm playing. Like if I play for 5 or 10 minutes, it's all right. But if I play for a long time, it starts to hurt. So sometimes I wear little band-aids right across the top. And I've been to the hand specialist, and he was going to inject cortisone, but I thought not really, because that would be quite painful. So hopefully, I'm just hoping it'll go away. But it's nearly 100%, but I have to still watch when I do. I can't just keep playing for more than half an hour. I have to take a bit of a rest.
He even puts powder on it so it makes it easier to slide up and down the strings.
Yeah.
Otherwise they tear into his finger.
That's right. The doctor doesn't know why. I think it comes from playing the acoustic guitar. After playing probably over 30 years the electric, which is very simple to play, easy on the action. The acoustic guitar is much harder to press down. And they think that's what's caused this. But it was an old trauma that we fired up.
それはキャンディスの愛を持ってしても治らないんですか、今のところ。
I'm working on it.
それの機械は何ですか、リッチ？
Actually, it's just, I brought it with me because it strengthens the fingers. Right there, like that. But although that's not my problem, problem's at the tip. This is just for something to do. When I'm bored on the plane, I sit there going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2.
It's difficult. Let him try.
And that's what I do on the plane for 8 hours.
It's hard to hear.
That's why I arrive here like a zombie.
You do it one at a time.
ああ、これダメだ。そこでまあヨーロッパツアーキャンセルしたことでいきなり大きな会場でコンサートをやることになりません、日本ではね。本来彼は小さいところでやりたいって言ってたんだけど、どうしても日本だと大きなところでやらなきゃいけない。このことについてはどう感じてますか？
We're all very nervous about it. We'll stay up late at night worrying about it. It's going to be quite nerve-wracking to do it because the whole purpose of putting together this band was to play much smaller places, more intimate places, like castles and museums, places like that. Yeah, and churches. But I mean, you can't. I don't think you can complain that we're playing bigger halls. So I don't say anything, but I like it to be small halls, very small, to get that intimate club atmosphere.
今回のポイントはリッチーのギターもそうですけど、どうしてもキャンディスにスポットが当たってくると、そういう意味では今までのリッチーのショーとはちょっと違ってくりますよね、内容がね。僕もオーディエンスの反応を楽しみにしてるんですよ。
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I'm very excited. I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm very excited about it. I think it's great that the fans here have been so supportive of the new direction that Richie's gone in, and I'm actually glad that we're starting off here. Although it is bigger venues, I think the people here they're a lot more attentive. They listen a lot more, and that's exactly what the show is all about. Just for us to entertain them and to try to take them into this other realm that we live in all the time. So instead of people coming in expecting a Ronnie Dio show or, you know, a Davey White show, which isn't going to happen, I think it's nice to start off here where everybody will just be listening and enjoying the music that we do.
まあでも話は戻りますけども、どういうファンがこのブラックマザーナイトのレコードを買ってくれたんだというふうにお二人は思うですか？
What do you think?
I think it looks like all of Richie's fans, his diehard fans, have gone out and bought it, but I think we're slowly starting to pull in other people that either were not fans of his before or didn't even know who he was because they appreciate the music. And I've noticed that some people even get turned off by his name, an older generation get turned off by his name because they think it's going to be very hard rock music. And as soon as they hear it, they love the music that we're doing. So he's reaching a completely new audience, which is great at this point in his career, at age 52 and after doing 30 years of rock and roll music, to open up this completely new area for people to listen to is great.
僕のねラジオとテレビのファンの反応を見るととても面白いのは、もちろんリッチーの長い間のファンの人もいるんだけど、今までリッチーのこと知らなかった若いファンとか、あるいはリッチーのこと知ってたけど長い間レコード買ってなかった古いファンとか、そういうふうに幅が広がったっていうのはとてもね興味深かったですよ。
That was we were especially interested in that collection of people, the latter, the older fans.
Women who don't really like hard rock music and more into softer kind of pop music, they tend to like this. And also little children. We get fan letters from 6-year-old children or 3-year-old kids that are calling up and singing Renaissance Fair on the answering machine, which is a completely new generation of people that's being introduced to music.
これは僕2人のねライフワークとしてこれからもブラックマザーナイトはこう続けていってほしいね。1回だけのプロジェクトじゃなくてね、ずっと続けてほしいなと思ってるんですよ。その辺のお考えどうですか？
That's right. We already have 6 songs written for the next LP, and one of them is especially for Japan. It's about Candice will explain. It's about a god or goddess of music, and it's when I was writing the melody, it had, I could hear sounds of Japan coming. So it was obviously it had to be a Japanese tune. If you'd like to explain.
And there's another song that we had written together that for the next album that we'll be doing in concert. So you'll all be able to hear that one. That's more of a Russian kind of tune.
That's right. That's what we'll be playing on Sunday. So that's not on this CD. It'll be on the next one. But that Japanese one.
I have this lyrical idea in mind about. Well, most of the lyrics are already written, but it's about Benzai 10. Is that how you say that? Which I was reading about, and they said that she was the Japanese goddess of love and music and marriage. I just thought that was a beautiful idea. So that will be what that Japanese.
It's a very good tune. It's a very haunting tune.
He wrote it specifically for it.
興味深いですね。もうすでに次のアルバムの曲が出来上がっているということで、アンダーバイオレットムーンというのはコンサートでもやっていましたけどね、これはリッチー・ブラックモアが作詞を自分で生まれて初めてやった曲なんだそうですけどね、日本にまつわる曲が入ってるっていうのもちょっと興味深いじゃないですかね。さあブラックモアズナイトインタビューの続きを見ていただきましょう。こちらです。どうぞ。
その日本のイメージってのはリッチはどういうイメージでこうその日本のイメージってこう広がってきたんですか、メロディーみたいな。
I actually wrote the melody about 15 years ago when I was here in Japan. And I was going to use it with Deep Purple, but I just couldn't see Ian Gillan singing this. He wanted to do it, and I said, no, because I played it to them. I said, no, I don't think so.
What we put on Blackmore's Night on our album, Shadow of the Moon, that he's had for 20 years. And they were all these melodies without a home. So he would play them around the studio for 20, 25 years around Ian Gillan or Ronnie Dio. Cozy Powell had Renaissance Fair in his head for years because Richie was playing it so often. And when we finally put it out on Shadow of the Moon album, he said, that song, that melody again. But he's actually a fan of the album. He really enjoyed it. But there's so many melodies that he's had for so long that are now, they found their home in this project.
一応その15年前に作ったメロディーだとかなんとかっていうのはもうきっちり覚えてる方なんですか、それとも何かの表紙で思い出していくんでしょうか。
Yeah, what happens is that if I write a melody, it comes back to me again, maybe a couple of years later, just slightly different, but it's still there. The main melody is always there, if it's any good. If I forget the melody, I have lots of melodies going around my head, and I put them down on tape recorders, but I never listen to the recorders back to hear these tunes again. I always feel that I want to write something new. So if I write something that I think is good, I'll put it on a tape recorder for later, but then later comes and I don't listen to it. I just keep playing some more. So
And he takes over all the time.
that's right.
ところで日曜日に演奏される新しい曲、これも日本のファン知らないと思うので少しだけ解説をお願いしてよろしいですか。
Do you want to sing it?
Okay.
ねえ。
Now you did it.
This is tuned down.
You want to do a little bit? Just a little bit?
This is tuned down, so it's going to be very low.
That's right. Are we just doing a little bit? The drum, leave this world behind. We'll have a drink and toast to ourselves under a violet moon. Shoot a rose with her hair in curls will make you turn and stare. Try to steal a kiss at the bridge under a violet moon. Raise your hats and your glasses too. We will dance the whole night through. We're going back to a time we knew under a violet moon. And it goes on.
わお。これはとても綺麗なメロディーですね、これも。
Yeah, it's more of a Russian feel to it.
And we finally got to use the words violet moon.
That's
So we've been trying to use that for a long time. We were going to call the band Violet Moon. Then we were going to call the album Violet Moon. And that came from Richie's mother, who has passed away. Her name was Violet, and her name before she married his father was Moon. So besides the imagery of this big, beautiful purple moon, there was Violet Moon. We always wanted to incorporate that somehow, that idea, into a song, and we finally did it. And that's actually Richie's first lyric writing experience. He wrote most of the words on that, didn't he? He did. I just modified them a little bit here and there, but it's great when he did.